Hello everyone, we are Team 3. My name is Fong Tran with Emily, Joel, and Crystal, and we will be presenting about Malaysia. So for the executive summary, the purpose of this presentation is to understand the context of other people's life and to identify consideration based on their realities, to be prepared to successfully work with them, and to address their need with a sustainable approach they might really adopt. Next thing is etiquette, when we will be talking about conducting business norm, and also the dining and socializing in Malaysia. And I'm gonna hand it over to Crystal for the rest of the summary.
Okay, in culture, we're discussing that the majority is Muslim, discrimination, and that both men and women have a dress code. In politics, we're discussing that Malaysia is a constitutional monarchy, the three main political parties, and the restrictions on freedom of speech. In economics, we'll be discussing that Malays have a low average income, all homes are affordable, poverty in urban areas, and there's lots of petty crime. In interfracture, we'll be discussing travel is affordable by air, rail, and road, the advances in electrical and communication systems, the water system is clean, but the sewage is a problem, and education and healthcare is available.
Hello, my name is Murch-Shafer, and today we're going to be talking about etiquette, then culture, then politics, economics, and finally finishing out with infrastructure.
Hi, my name is Murch-Shafer, and I'll get us started with etiquette, or more specifically business outlook. Malaysia has an ease of doing business ranking of 12, a starting business ranking of 126, and a doing business score of 81.5 in 2020. So overall, Malaysia is a great place to do business, however it might not be the best place to try and start a business. A lot of this good business is because trading across borders is cheap, and it's welcomed and even encouraged by different tax policies and such.
When conducting business in Malaysia, it's usually important to bring a gift. So for all people, do not give alcohol. Always offer and accept your gifts with your right hand because your left hand is evil, and be careful not to treat the gift like a bribe. For Indians, always wrap your gifts in yellow, green, or red because it's good fortune, and do not give other products to a Hindu because the cow is a sacred animal to them. For Malays, avoid yellow and red because it's colors of royalty, and do not give pig or dog toys for children because those are seen as dirty animals. For the Chinese, do not give sharp gifts. It's a symbol of cutting someone out of your life. Avoid bird-like things because it's a symbol for death, and elaborate gift giving is important. When conducting business, businessmen like to personally get to know someone before they decide to do business with them. Malays are known for not saying things directly, so you'll have to learn how to read between the lines with them. Men wear pants and a button-up shirt. They usually wear a tie if an executive or someone important is there, and women wear a blouse and pants or a skirt. A business card is usually exchanged after a formal introduction. Some business norms, formal introductions are important for respect. Don't forget to shake hands when greeting and leaving. Nod or bow when greeting a woman who is older than you. It shows respect. And entertainment is important when having business meetings. So some dining and socializing tips. Always use your right hand when passing food and eating because, like I said, your left hand is shown as evil. Drinks will not be served before dinner, but during. They admire good etiquette and manners and have a gift just in case they are exchanged because it'd be awkward if you didn't. Some ways to avoid offense. Men should never shake hands with a woman first unless she offers. Always take your hat off when going into a restaurant, a church, or a business. Don't touch anyone's head because it's a sacred part of your body. Don't show the bottom of your feet because they're seen as dirty. Don't give to street children because they'll think that begging is more important than going to school. And don't use your left hand because it's evil.
For culture, first I'm gonna be talking about social system and structure. Malay is the majority ethnic group and are 62% of the population. The rest are Chinese, 20%, and Indian Malaysia 6%. Male is dominant and women takes the housewife role in Malaysia. And Malaysia is a declared Muslim country, so most of the population are Muslim. They still celebrate Indian and Chinese national holidays such as Chinese New Year. Second stuff for culture is tradition, and the Juma's Day is the most traditional thing for all Malaysian. It is like a Sabbath day for Malaysian, and where they do the prayer around noon. And Malaysia traditional clothes where they do the prayer is the baju Malaya for men, which a long sleeve shirt wear over the trouser, and for women is baju kurung, a loose tunic worn over a long skirt. Malaysia official language is Malay, but more than 60% of people speak English, so it's the most popular second language for Malaysia.
A constitutional monarchy and a democracy. Every 5 years, they have elections for both the head of the state, who's the king, and the head of the government, who's the prime minister. They have three main political parties: the United Malays National Organization, the Malaysian Chinese Association, and the Malaysian Indian Congress. People have considered the political parties to be very corrupt since politicians have taken some bribes in the past. Regarding to freedom, there's laws restricting freedom of speech, and people have been arrested for making offensive comments. Regarding human rights, there's a lot of police brutality against people in prisons, and they have an ongoing battle against human trafficking, and they permit child marriage and prohibit same-sex marriage.
The current inflation rate as of 2020 is 2.08%. It looks like it will continue to stay stable, but there is a possibility of a slight increase, just like in previous years. Malays are known to be the poorest group of people. The Chinese and Indian are considered to be wealthy or rich, and the economy has continued to rise after the Asian financial crisis. Most people make less than $100,000 per year, and the minimum wage has just been increased this year to $274.62 per month. The unemployment rate is currently 3.2%, and as of 2018, there's 15.3 million people in the labor force. The high-skilled employment is 27.2%. Semi-skilled workers make up majority of the population at 60.4%, and the low-skilled employment is 12.4%. The standards of living in Malaysia. So in the rural areas, the government likes to make sure that everyone has a roof over their head, electricity, and access to water. There's lots of forests in these areas. There's also lots of poverty, but that's in the urban parts because it's very expensive to live in the city, and the urban areas are overcrowded, which leads to more health risks. The health and environmental conditions. So it's known to be safe with little violence. Pickpocketing is common, though. The country is at risk for terrorists, but it is one of the wealthiest countries in Asia. The rainy months are October to February, so don't visit during those times because there's lots of landslides and flooding. There's also lots of air pollution because lots of people ride their bikes and drive cars.
For infrastructure transportation, the main travel vehicle are by trains, buses, cars, and airplane. Buses are the most affordable for students. In 2015, 14.8 million registered motorcycle. And as time goes by, fast increase in Western car in Malaysia. Transportation system cover up to 63,455 kilometers.
So Malaysia's electrical system is very well electrified, even better electrified than the United States. However, they have different standards. For example, Malaysia uses 220 volts for their standard voltage, while the United States uses 120. Malaysia uses 50 hertz for frequency, while the United States uses 60 hertz. And Malaysia uses a type G plug, while the United States uses a type A and B plug. On to the communication. Malaysia is a developed country when it comes to the communication infrastructure. They support all major types of communication. However, they have struggled with telecommunication monopolies in the past. You need to make sure that you're not on sites criticizing Islam, torrent sites, online dating sites, pornographic sites, or gambling sites, because there have been troubles with these in the past with Malaysia. And on to water infrastructure. Malaysia is located on the coast, but almost all their water is supplied through rivers. They do have cheap water because the government paid a lot of money to build up water infrastructure really fast, and that has resulted in an increased use of water per person. However, this was built really fast, not always super well, and so there have been some problems with sewage getting into the drinking water before.
The school year usually goes from January to November. Every citizen has access to education. Every non-citizen must pay fees to send their children to school. The quality is low, so they have reforms to improve the students' performance, and to improve the teachers' performance, they have effective teacher training and set up a pay arrangement to encourage teachers to teach. Public health is available for all citizens. Private health is required for non-residents for emergencies. In remote areas, they have limited availability for healthcare, and there's a lot of health hazards in big cities, so it's advised to take annual vaccinations. They have a reliable and efficient postal service if needed, and they have offices in big cities. In remote areas, it's advised to set up a post office box.
The key takeaways from today's presentation should be that Malaysia can be a great place to do business, but it can be very difficult to actually start a business. In a business setting, you need to be sure you're addressed formally and to not be too direct, and if you are a male, don't be the person to start a handshake with a woman. Malaysia is a culturally diverse country. You need to be aware of the different cultures so you don't offend anyone while you are there. Malaysia is a constitutional monarchy that is led by an elected prime minister and a king. Malaysia has a stable economy where the rural area is safer than the urban areas, and it has good transports, including roads, rail, water, and air that are affordable and available to all. Malaysia has good infrastructure for communication, electrical, and water. However, the water system isn't always treated properly. You need to be careful about that. Additionally, the education, healthcare, and postal office is available and accessible to all citizens. Thank you all for tuning in to our presentation today. Any questions can be directed to our Canvas mailbox. Thank you and have a good rest of your day.